There is always great excitement when a new Beretta is released. And there's great excitement today. This is the Beretta UltraLeggero. So if you wanted a lightweight gun with over and under stacked barrels, you had to buy an ultralight before from Beretta. Now, it's been replaced by this, the UltraLeggero. It's built on a 690 action, which is quite exciting, and it is very, very light. Throughout this video, we're gonna have a little look over it, and then we're gonna fast forward time, we're gonna go shoot it, and then we're gonna come back here, and we're gonna have a look through the technical side. Mostly take the stock off and see how some of these things work. So starting at the back, this is the ultra light pad. It's a more lightweight pad than standard. It still has a fair bit of recoil absorption. Inside the stock here, they've reamed out a little bit more than standard. It doesn't affect the integrity whatsoever because, well, it doesn't. Other than that, the game stock specs are the same drop, same cast as standard. Nice, simple, slim grip, black trigger, that's cool, and an entirely black 690 action, which is where it starts to get a little bit clever. Before we look at this, because this is pretty epic, the forend is also pretty epic. So if we take it off, firstly it's a slightly shorter forend than standard that comes on a 690. If you look inside, you have a two-piece forend. They've stripped a lot of weight out of what would standard come in a 690. There's no silly BB system. And there is the first hint at what makes this gun pretty cool. Plastic parts. Whoa, plastic stuff. How very scary. However, given that there are whole pistols made out of plastic, making a couple of bits on an over and under shotgun shouldn't be too big a deal. Pulling the barrels off as well, it's clear to see how they've saved weight in the barrels because, well, you can see straight through the entire middle of these bad boys. What a beautiful piece of machinery. You've got a joining block at the front and back, and both of those thread into the standard Beretta monoblock with standard 690 ejectors. It's a good system. Other than that, I mean, the lump system's slightly different, quite cool, but nothing untoward, just a really nice set of lightweight 30-inch barrels. 6mm skinny rib, all in all. It's quite remarkable. I was going to say, there's nothing unremarkable about this. This is a real big change. The ultralight is what it was. This is cool new tech. And this is where it gets really cool. This is a 690 action. However, have a little look at this. This is a 3D printed side of the action. A 3D printed side of the action. It doesn't go all the way through. You can feel or see even, perhaps I can see certainly, that the metal actually encases the whole thing. So I presume when we take it apart, these are going to slide into a really cut out area. And the floor of the action is also 3D printed. What this does is really remove no structural integrity whatsoever because they're not jointed from the bottom or the outsides here. They're still done by these hinge pins in the front and U-bolt in the back, a good solid system. What it does is allow them to save, I don't know, a good few ounces right in the middle of the gun, while saving weight at the front and back. They've trimmed a lot of weight without having to use a overly soft action. The quality of the 3D printing, I presume it's 3D printed anyway, just looking at it, the quality of those inlets is really nice as well. The design is good, they look good quality. More importantly, all of the little lines of all of the acanthus scrolls in there catch the light differently, and to be honest, I like it. It's a nice novelty. It'll be interesting to see how they stand up to the test of time, but there's no reason that they should scratch or damage given they're probably made of very good quality plastics. How it balances? Well, it's a lightweight gun. You're not getting one of these to shoot. You're not getting one of these to go and shoot 100 straight on the clays. You're not taking one of these to potentially go and shoot a 200 bird day. You're getting one of these to go on a day where you need to carry the gun, probably walk a hell of a lot. And as such, you could probably imagine it's quite front heavy. That's because you've lost a lot of mid weight, you've lost a lot of back weight. As much as the front weight you've lost, there is still some there. So here's the magic number. This gun is 6 pounds, 4 ounces. That's not a lot. That's a lightweight 20 bore. And yet it feels and handles well. This would make a good gun. to shoot, a fun and enjoyable gun to shoot. It doesn't feel awful, it feels good. Let's go shoot it. So we're here today at Holland & Holland. I'm a bit more relaxed now. In fact, I was straight out of the workshop. We got that gun for like 20 minutes to do that first segment. But today we're gonna luxuriate in it. I've been thinking on it. I'm really excited for this. This is a real step in an interesting direction. And I'm hoping that it shoots and lives up to the expectation. Anyway, not gonna be a much of a better shooting ground to shoot it at. Let's go and miss some clay. Well, here you go. Let's mash up a few clays and see how it shoots. So it handles and moves around real nice. What would be interesting is if it had a couple of ounces more in the back. I think that would kill the overall weight. We might just smooth it down. However, the whole point in this gun is that it's designed to shoot fast-moving targets going away from you, or the odd walked-up shot. And it is very quick and reactive, and it moves around in the sky beautifully. Obviously, because it's a lightweight gun, it's quite hard to place. You need to be very, very, very careful not to, be a fool with it. We're going to chuck some 28 grams in now, because the 21s don't kick. See what the difference is. What's interesting is we had a little go on that target over there, which is just a couple of teal targets when it first came out, so we're going to have a quick go. And to be honest, when you're there doing that simple rifle shot, you feel the recoil so much. However, when you're powering through a target like that, you really don't feel anything. As Carl from GMK just said, you can't beat physics. It's a lightweight gun. It will kick more than other guns. However, I think this could be a real interesting era of 690. I really hope that they do something along these lines in a sporting edition, mostly because I like the idea of a customizable side clip plate thing. How will it stand the test of time? Well, I can almost guarantee it will be better than the ultralight. The fact you've got a steel action, not an alloy one, is good, and they've shed the weight in areas that aren't going to affect its mechanical stuff, mechanical wear. What is interesting is how it will last over time, given that its inertia through the gun per cartridge will be higher, whether that will make it looser over time. I'd like to think not. I'd like to think not. But it's a Beretta, so when it does wear out, just replace some bits. It's mustard. It's great fun. It's good looking. I think they kind of nailed the price point as well. It's under 2.5 grand, which competes with the 693s of the world. And it's got enough features, and yet it's still quality enough that it can fetch that sort of money without it feeling expensive or overpriced. Anyway, I'm just kind of interested to see how these side plates come off. As are you, I already know. Back to the studio a few days ago. At this point, I'm hoping that I enjoyed shooting it. Otherwise, my excitement now will be a real change of tack. So here we go, the stock is coming off. I didn't mention, by the way, that it is a multi-choke as well, it comes with all its chokes. That's a pretty tasty thing. I say they could probably have shaved a couple ounces off if they didn't do that, but it's gonna make it a less versatile gun. And given that this gun is probably gonna be used for the majority walked up upland hunting, you're gonna wanna have change of chokes depending on the terrain and the quarry you're after. Look at that bad boy, woo! You know what this says to me? Custom side plates, mini side plates. That's what this says to me. Oh, aren't the possibilities endless? And I'm sure, from what I've heard, that that is something that could well be on the cards. Because all that needs to be done is chucked into a 3D printer. I don't know whether Beretta would happily share the design spec so that anyone could make one of these at home. I said, I'm not entirely sure it is 3D printed, you know? Might be. It could be. What's more importantly is it could be. And you could have whatever you wanted on the side plates of your Superleggero. Leggero. Superleggero. What an awesome concept. Like, what an actually nice change. Yeah, you can see that's held in just there, I presume by a little pin behind there. You can actually just see its connection in the bottom. How awesome is this? A not quite entry level, but mid-range Beretta that you could potentially, very reasonably, completely customize. That's cool. This is the sort of change I really like. It's nice. I liked a lot of the guns that have come out this year from most of the manufacturers, but this goes up there, certainly with my top one so far, because it's just different. It's brave, and bravery is cool. You know, it's how stupid, we've reached a point in gun making over the last 100 years that not that much has changed. So when somebody makes something like this where you go, that's cool, that is a huge piece of modern technology put into a standard gun. This is progress. Not that it's that technical, because inside it is just a 690. It's just the fact that they've been brave and cut your side plates off and given you plastic ones instead. That is a fascinating thing. It's awesome. I think that's awesome. The barrels are awesome. They should have gone ribless and fixed choke, but you know, they can't get everything right. That would also not suit so many people. It would have been a bit more of a connoisseur's thing potentially. I really like this. I can see this being certainly worldwide a great seller. And in the UK, there is a great demand for that sort of lighter weight, enjoyable gun that's a little bit more versatile and practical. That void between big, heavy, slightly easier to shoot or more consistent to shoot gun and these lightweight guns is getting bigger, and there definitely still is a market for it. That is just a really nice system. I like it. Well done, Beretta. You clearly don't need my praise or approval, but you have some of it. Anyway, back to the shooting ground for my conclusion. So you've had my thoughts throughout this, and you've probably made up your own mind by now. My thoughts are something like this. If you want to shoot a 20 ball with long barrels, but want to put 12 ball cartridges in it, this is the right gun for you. It's probably got a lot more versatility than a 20 ball, even though it fills that same weight bracket. It's got the same frame as a 12 ball. It's got the fact you could, and I think probably if I bought this, I would put a sporting stock on. I just prefer the fuller grip, and I think the extra weight in the stock might turn this gun into something a little bit of a, it would still be sub £7, but it would be a real interesting gun. Be a nice project. I like the fact it can be customized. I don't dislike the way that it looks with the plates that are in there, but I like the concept of having some of my own plates printed, made up. It's a lot easier potentially than getting a Beretta Silver Pigeon engraved up. I love the fact that it's an implementation of new tech and a new design and a new style. And it shoots all right. Like, it shoots real well. It would be a really brilliant game gun. But you ain't gonna want to be shooting 32 gram 5s through it. So, it fills a beautiful niche. One that I think more people might be interested in if they actually give it a go. We don't need 8.5 pound guns. They're just a little bit easier to shoot, I suppose. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I genuinely am in love with this little toy. It is such a fun gun to shoot, and it's so different and so modern. It's awesome. There's some things that perhaps I would worry about. How the plastic will age, doesn't matter. I can't imagine it's an expensive part to replace, as I've already said. If you're buying a black action, you're probably going to accept that the black will wear at some point. These are things that you might worry about, but I wouldn't worry too much about. So it's a different trigger plate attachment as well to the standard 690, but that doesn't matter too much. It's not going to change your life. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for Beretta for letting us come have a little play today. Go check one out. It will make you smile.